Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my third Shakespeare journal. This is Portia, and Portia was the heroine from Merchant of Venice. Her father had set up a situation where there were 3 casks full of something, and one was gold, one was silver, and one was lead. And in order to win her hand in marriage, the suitor had to pick the correct one, and a prince comes and chooses the gold and he's wrong and sent away, and another comes and chooses the silver and he's wrong and is sent away, and the guy who you end up kind of rooting for in the whole story chooses the lead casket and wins her hand in marriage. But to get there and to be able to make his bid for Portia and to guess the lead cask, he had to get the funds to travel, and his friend took out a loan and got in trouble in Venice. And the story is about Portia and her handmaiden dressing as men and going to get the guys out of trouble in Venice. It's a fabulous story. So I love this depiction of Portia, and I backed it with a page from The Merchant of Venice. I also love the butterscotch sari silk. I haven't had a chance to use it since I did bee journals. I think I used it in some Winnie the Pooh journals as well. I just love this color. So I've got that for the tie and in the tassel. And some sari backed here. This actually is not sari silk, but I saw it in the fabric warehouse when I was in my sari trim buying phase a month or 2 ago, and I picked some up because I knew I would want it at some point, and here it is on the cover with Portia. The tassel is hooked on with a bulldog clip with a Midsummer Night's Dream charm, and just different fibers and laces. I will set that aside while we flip through. This is a different fabric than the other ones. Wow, that's got a lot of foofies on it. Hang on, lint brush. Here we go. I'm getting smarter. I keep it on the side when I videotape now. It's also got that really wonderful soft fuzzy chenille-like texture to it, but it's more faded in color than the one I used for the Ophelia journal, and just really offset well with the butterscotch, I thought. So let's talk about the theme for this journal. It's not just Shakespeare. I've talked for a good long while with the lady who has reserved this, and she works with children who are challenged in fine arts. They do Shakespearean theater, ballet, painting, and she asked if there was any way that I could modify the Shakespeare theme to try to cover more of a different array of the arts. So that's what I've attempted to do. So in the beginning of the journal, I was focusing on music. Now, all of the quotes on the pages are Shakespeare passages from his various plays, and I did find one about music to put on the front page, and I've used pictures from my painter's studio and from, I think this was from The Sound of Music. So there are various artsy themes throughout. I do love that picture of the child getting a lesson in, I think that's a lute. I don't know. The end of it is skinny. It might not be. It is a guitar type string instrument. And of course this is called The Connoisseur, the little girl looking at the painting with the painter in the next room in his studio. I love that. Great painting of, I think Eastman painted that, of the boys singing in the choir. So I put in my idioms for music, the beat of your own drum and fit as a fiddle, although I still have Shakespeare quotes in some of the pockets and such, and a page from Antony and Cleopatra. I let Shakespeare be the palette, and I tried to work in the other themes with it. Here's a charm with some musical notes. And of course the kittens moshing on the violin and piano. Not much unlike my week here with all the extra kittens that invaded and are now gone. I love it. I didn't intentionally, I don't put different stenciled designs together, but every once in a while they fall that way in the book, and it's just a really neat combination. Another idiom, music to my ears, and I've got some little tea-dyed tags with some music tissue washi on it. I love that picture. My little sorry silk note. Little sorry trim there for the tab. Just some little tags. Another page from Antony and Cleopatra. And more music shenanigans on the piano. Here are one of the stitched index cards with a little bit about how they divided and categorized the plays from Shakespeare. More foofies. Thank you, Static Cling. And this is the end of the music section here. I put a tea-dyed quote in here. They danced by the light of the moon. I love that picture, this old couple playing music together. And clear as a bell with bells on. I love the music idioms. So the second section, I concentrated on Shakespeare. So Romeo and Juliet scenes. Just have various quotes and more stamped cards in the pockets. Great Romeo and Juliet image, and there's some more Romeo and Juliet in the pocket. I thought the sound effects were really great. For some reason these books seem to crinkle even more than usual. There's that fabulous picture of Imogen, a little extra stitching around. And Helena from Midsummer Night's Dream. She was one of my favorite. I toyed with putting her on the front of one of these journals, but not yet. Wait for it. It's not her turn yet. Here's some pictures from Midsummer Night's Dream. And Cleopatra in the pocket. Some sari trim. A little sari there. These are pictures from The Tempest, Miranda and Ferdinand. Another depiction of Miranda. Romeo and Juliet's secret wedding. Here's a charm with the book Hamlet. And more Romeo and Juliet. So that ends the second signature. The third signature, I focused on painting. And I've just stitched in brushes and easel here. Again, the quotes are primarily the same Shakespeare. Great painting in an artist studio. And I put the painting flashcards in. There's a charm here of a palette with a paintbrush. Page from Midsummer Night's Dream, but if you flip it, it's the first page of The Merchant of Venice, which is the story Portia is from on the cover of this. So it has the list of characters and the beginning of the first act. Here's one of those 12th Night cards with a scene from As You Like It inside. There's something just so romantic about the court fool and her on the balcony. So this is the painting section. You know me, I have to stick in a Van Gogh. It seemed all that glisters is not gold. Love the adaptation of words. And here is a paintbrush charm on that tab. This is a picture that I was putting it in here and I looked up the reference for it. It's in my Painter's Digi set, and I think I mislabeled on the back of this what this image is of in both Wendy's and Gail's painting art journals that I made for them. I think I said that this was a painting of Edgar Degas, and it's not. It was painted by Degas, and that's a painting of James Tissot in his art studio. So this is Vermeer's in the studio. And I've got some tags in here with some Jane Davenport washi with paintbrushes and easels on them. I love that, how they came black and white so that you can actually color in your washi. Some great insults. I always hear them in a British accent, but I can't. I'm not even going to punish you with my attempt at that. Maybe we could get Tracy Fox to read them for us. Another fabulous artist's portrait. That was a self-portrait of herself. It's the same gal who is on the front, and her name is French, and it starts with a V, and I can't pronounce it. She was the court painter for Marie Antoinette. Elizabeth Vigée. Maybe you guys could come into the comment section and help me with that. Some more Merchant of Venice. And kittens moshing in the artist's box of paints, even one inside, pulling the brush down. And I have a quote here. People call me the painter of dancing girls. It has never occurred to them that my chief interest in dancers lies in rendering movement and painting pretty clothes. Edgar Degas. And some more painting flashcards. Artists' flashcards. And then on the back page of that, I have stitched some more mediums of art as pockets, and I have used the colorful Jane Davenport washi for the tags. I thought that was eye-popping. It's such a muted antique kind of coloring throughout this, so these colors just seem to be almost startling when you get to it. I thought that was a neat effect. So that represents the painting art portion of it, and the fourth signature is dance, the ballet. And what I did was I went back to the ballet themed journals I had made, and I took the quotes from that and tea-dyed them. Obviously I wouldn't have had room to put them all into the book, so while the pages themselves still have the Shakespeare quotes, the inserts have various quotes about ballet and fine dance. However, the inserts in the pockets are still Shakespeare. Most of the pictures in this signature are the ballerinas, the dancers that Degas painted. And I love this. Please send me your last pair of shoes, worn out with dancing as you mentioned in your letter, so that I might have something to press against my heart. Doesn't that just melt you? Wow. Dancing is a tough career, but I'm glad I spent it at the Royal Ballet. So another great ballerina. He referred to him as dancers then. I don't know that the term ballerina was commonly used. I don't find it in any of the quotes from that far back. But maybe they just weren't using it in that context, in that culture. I'm not sure. This is the ballet class. Some great quotes by Lord Byron and Mikhail Baryshnikov. And here, as with the other Shakespeare journals, I took the pages from this 1941 book, College Outline, and it is Barnes & Noble, and it has the summary of all of his plays. So the pages are quite fragile, and I created this cardstock folder to gently hold them in so the pages wouldn't crimp, and I didn't want to sew or they were so light and dainty, I didn't want to harm them at all, trying to attach them in some clever way. And down here I have the birthplace of Shakespeare. And a little leaf charm. And in the back here, inspiration from Master Shakespeare. This is the 5th page in the digital set that I made that has quotes in it. I made a 5th page with the various sayings for flashcards, or for whatever you wanted to, superimpose these on. And that's where all of these words came from. And I put this picture up too because it just was the consummate Shakespeare kind of title page. I thought that would be neat, and I did. I used it in a pocket in each one of these. The Lord Chamberlain's Men. I also started doing a little bit of stenciling on these tea-dyed index cards. It's a slippery slope once I get started with those. And the final page. I've got the to be or not to be quote here. And in the little music pocket. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Story of my life. Dance light, for my heart lies under your feet, love. So I have those, and then there were quite a few ballet quotes that would have made the book so bulky. I'm going to send these along with Portia. And the back page is Shakespeare with a few pockets here. And that's it. That is Portia. So she will be on her way, and there is more Shakespeare coming. They are not journals, and they are not sold. They are planners, and I hope to have them finished in the next couple days. Although with Shakespeare, these things have taken on a life of their own, and I cannot guarantee the timing, but we are not finished with Shakespeare yet. So thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back soon. Have a great day. Bye.